Hello, dear student. I welcome you again to yet another good and wonderful unit as we continue with Bible knowledge in Standard 6. Today we are proceeding on Unit 14. And on Unit 14, we are going to look at the gender issues in the community. Gender issues in the community. Remember, last time we were looking at the Unit 13, whereby we are looking at the same issues of gender. So we are looking at gender issues in the school. I hope you remember a number of issues that we discussed in that unit. Today we are proceeding as we look at this one. So this is yet another good thing that we are going to look at how gender issues are being handled in the community. So today we are going to look at the community. So gender roles in the community. So traditionally, many societies believe that males and females are different in status. So it is a tradition, it is a custom that in different societies, we believe that males and females, they have different status. They can hold different jobs or different works or different activities. What males can do, sometimes we believe that females cannot do. So that's what traditionally is believed at. And it is assumed that women are inferior to men. So it is also thought, people think that women are under men. Women are inferior. To be inferior is to be under somebody. So to be inferior, here we are talking of women. It is believed that women, they are always under men. So in most leadership decision-making positions, or most leadership decision-making positions are held by males. So because we believe that females are inferior, are under men, then you see that in different societies, most leadership positions or decision-making positions, they are held by the males, not the females. So for example, in Malawi, many members of parliament, traditional chiefs, councillors, and executives or chief executives, they are males. So when we see to it, when we see in different organizations or the social setup, you see to it that males are dominating in those positions, the decision-making positions. Like if you go to the parliament, you find that there are more males than females. Traditional chiefs, you find that there are more traditional chiefs who are males than females. Even in the offices, there are more male bosses than female bosses. So basically we are saying that in societies we believe that males are on top of females, so females are inferior. So that is just a thinking in different societies that results into imbalance in decision-making positions. So in most cases, you find that spouses' rights are abused. So because of these views, you find that the spouses, we mean when someone is married, a male and a female, they are spouses. A male is a spouse to the female and a female is a spouse to the male. So the spouses, they are being abused in their rights are abused because of the different views of that social status, to say males are on top of females. For example, when a husband dies, his relatives may grab all property the family had. So we see in different societies, when a male dies, then the relatives of the male, they come to the female and grab all the property that they had in that family. So that is the abuse we are talking about. In other societies, husbands are also suffer when their wives die. So we see again that in also some instances you find that the husbands, their rights are also abused. When the female or the wife dies, you find that the relatives from the wife, they come and grab all the property that they had in that family. Then the husband is also abused in that case. That's why we're saying that the spouse's rights are abused because of the views that we have, the gender or the role, the status in the society or the community. So the wife's relatives, they grab the property from the widower. So it also happens as we have said. So in most societies, it is tolerable for a man to marry more than one wife. So you will find that again, in many societies, you find that it is allowed that a man can marry more than one wife, 2, 3, 4 wives can marry. It is allowed. However, it is almost a taboo for a woman to have more than one husband. So in different societies, we see to it that they do not allow a woman to get married to more than one husband. So that is a gender imbalance as well. There is no balance. Why should we allow only males to marry more than one wife and not a wife to have more than many husbands? So that is a gender imbalance that we are talking about. So it is a thing that is agreed, or that is maybe that has settled in the minds of the people. As a result, women are taken as inferior of the males. However, the Bible teaches that men and women are equal before God. So when we go to the Bible, it tells us that male and female are all equal in the eyes of God. So before God, all are equal, the females and the males. For example, we have a few examples here to look at. The first one is in Judges chapter 4, verse 4 through 16. There is a story there of Deborah. So Deborah, the prophet or the prophetess, they worked with Barak and defeated Sisera. So there is a story there that tells us that Barak was the leader of the army of the Israelites. And there was a war between the Canaanites and the Israelites. So the Israelites, leader of the army Barak, and the army of the Canaanites was led by Sisera. However, Barak, when he saw that no, the war is really great, he still insisted that I'll go with you, prophetess Deborah. Go with me, then I will not go to the war. So Deborah went with Barak to the war and they won the war. So we see that women can also play a very important role in the society where we live. Women are not inferior. They are not under men. They can equally perform wonderful job. They can perform the job that the males can do. Another example is found on 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 8 to verse 20. Here we have the story here of a widow of Zarephath who assisted Elijah the prophet. So there is that story again. You can read it on 1 Kings there. On chapter 17, you can see the story about Elijah there was assisted by the widow of Zarephath when there was famine in all the land of Israel and people were starving, and Elijah came to the widow and asked for food. He was assisted by this widow. So I have a small video clip that you are going to watch on this one as an example. So this one will come at the end. Also, We have another one, another example in Luke chapter 24, verse 1 through 8. It is the women who first witnessed Jesus' resurrection. So, when Jesus died, he resurrected very early in Sunday morning. Now there we see to it that women went there first, and they were the first to witness that Jesus is not there. They were the ones who brought the news to the disciples, and that's when the Simon Peter were running with full speed to see and check, has it really happened like that? So we see to it that women, they play vital role in the society or in the community. They were the ones that told the apostles about the resurrections. So we have said that the women were the ones who told the apostles that Jesus has risen. So both men and women can serve God in the church. So we see to it that men and women can equally serve God in the church. They all have talents and have roles to play in the church. So men and women, they all have roles to play in the church. Not that the roles of women are under the roles of men. No. The roles of men are equally good as well as those of women. So the roles can be played by both males and females. Now, let us watch that one, that small clip that I promised. Let us watch that clip and see how Elijah was assisted by that widow of Zarephath.
How long, my Lord? How long? Poor people are starving to death. The blood of your faithful servants is flooding Baal's altar. Why are you silent, my Lord?
Elijah.
Huh? Yes, my Lord.
You must go to Sarepta in Sidon. There, a widow will give you food. The stream is going to dry up.
Yes, my Lord. I will.
Heeding God's words, Elijah left the forest and left for Sarepta. He walked for many days without food and water. And finally he arrived at the village of Sarepta.
Is this the village of Sarepta?
Yes. Who are you? You look tired.
I have been walking for many days. Can you please give me a morsel of bread and some water to drink, please?
All we have is flour left for just one bread and little oil. I was going to bake it and eat it with my son before we die.
Don't worry, go home and make food for you and your son. But first, bake a small loaf of bread for me and bring it to me. The Lord has told me that if you do this, your jar will never go empty and the jug of oil will never go dry.
Huh? I will come back in a while then.
So the old woman went home and did as Elijah told her. The jar was refilled with flour and the jug never ran out of oil.
Huh? But it's a miracle.
God worked a miracle for them, and they never ran out of food for many days. The bin of flour was never used up, nor did the jug of oil.
Now, I hope we have enjoyed that small clip we have seen how Elijah was assisted by that widow. But now, with me here, I have an exercise. So let us look at this exercise. Number one, what is the belief of many societies about males and females? Number 2, between males and females who are viewed as above others in society. Number 3, mention any 3 positions that are dominated by males in the societies. Number 4, state how spouses are abused when their husbands die. State how spouses are abused when their husbands die. Number 5, mention one thing that is only allowed for men but it is regarded a taboo for women. Number 6, what does the Bible teach about gender roles? What does the Bible teach about the gender roles? So the answers for this exercise are in the lesson that we have just covered. So we have looked at the gender issues in the community, how the community views the status of males and females. So go through again and again and answer this exercise correctly well. Write it correctly or clearly and present it to your teacher so that you should see if really you have scored it better. So we have looked at a number of issues in this unit. But next time we are going to look at another issue. So the other issue that we are going to look at is the entering the promised land. The Israelites entering into the promised land. How did they get into the promised land? So it is another good unit that we are going to look at. So next time we are going to look at unit 15, entering the promised land. So be there next time, and until next time, thank you so much.